first time since I was 14, half of my life. And so I don't have any furniture in my room right now, and the contents of my room, everything except what's in my closets, is elsewhere in my apartment right now. So to this side of me, that side of me, everything that's a mattress in that big box. What are you doing, Luna? It's very rare that my apartment is just chaos. It's chaos. But it's okay, we're here, we're filming, we're making some ASMR videos, and it's a great day. It's a great day to have a great day. Okay. So, anyway, and obviously I will show you the finished products. I will have before and afters on my Instagram, so you guys will see the difference. But anyway, yes, what have I been watching? Honestly, lately, not a whole lot, just because there's been a lot happening. And even like I used to want to come home and decompress and like watch something, and even now when I want to decompress, sometimes I don't even want to watch something. I want to just like watch an ASMR video, or maybe read a little bit, or just play with Luna. So I've been watching a whole lot, but I have a post-it note with my list on my ring light, so I'm looking at my list here. So the first thing I have written is, believe it or not, I'm still watching Suits. It is taking me a while to get through because, I don't know, it's my treadmill show, so I watch I guess I watch 4 episodes a week then, or 5, but for some reason it feels like it's just taking me a long time to get through. There are a lot of seasons. I think there are, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 or 7. I believe I'm on season 5. I really just keep hitting continue on my laptop. I can't really even read it when I'm on the treadmill. But honestly, some days I'm not in the mood to watch it. So like yesterday on the treadmill, I didn't. I watched something else, but I'm determined to finish it. Suits, if you don't know, it's a lawyer-based show. It follows lawyers, and one lawyer who he never actually went to law school, but he fakes his way into working for a law firm, and then secrets come out, and in a show like that where it's very stationary, it just takes place in one office building, sometimes I'm always like, how are they gonna jazz this up, because you can only do that for so long. And I will say season 4 and season 5, they did do a good job of switching up the storyline. It's very unrealistic, a lot of things that happen in there, even I have no law experience at all, even I know that would never happen. But it's television, it's a show, right? So let me not be that person. But I am enjoying it. I love the characters. I love their dynamic together. Harvey and Lewis together just make my life so much better. Lewis, I think, is my favorite character. I used to hate him, now I love him. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's just taking me a while to get through, but I'm still watching it. Alright, the next one. Now everything else I have finished. So the next one is a heavy one. I watched the Quiet on Set documentary that I believe was on HBO Max. It's 3 or 4 episodes, and it essentially exposes the corruption and the abuse that took place on the sets of Nickelodeon shows. All the shows, if you are around my age, I'm 27, if you are around my age, all the shows we grew up with, the Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, all that, all those shows with Drake Bell, Amanda Bynes, Josh Peck, even iCarly a little bit. It focuses a lot on Dan Schneider and how worked it into childhood shows. That's how it starts. Like, that's what the first episode is about. That's just like, wow, a lot of this was actually probably really inappropriate. And like me, I remember even years and years ago, my sister's 10 years younger than me, and I remember watching certain shows that she used to watch and being like, that's inappropriate. Like, kids wouldn't get it, but the adults get it. Or even like, if you grow up and watch old SpongeBob episodes, you're like, wait a minute, this is a children's show. So a lot of that, but a lot of like how he like incorporated feet into the storyline and showing the kids' feet on camera, just very weird. And he was very touchy with them, and then it goes on to other people that actually like abused these children, sexually, mentally, emotionally. It's very heavy. There are trigger warnings with it. Talks about children, like these people, these actors were children, and now that they're adults, they are speaking out. It was the first time Drake Bell ever spoke out about what happened to him as a kid, and it's truly heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking. I watched it with my friend Marissa, and we both just like looked at each other and we were like, and like, these are things that we had no idea. Well, first of all, we were kids, but you would have no idea what was going on with these actors behind the scenes of the shows that we all used to watch. She's gonna fall. So anyway, it was really heartbreaking, really eye-opening. I'm not gonna say it's gonna ruin your childhood, but it's going to make things, you're going to see things differently that you used to see in a more innocent light. And it really starts a very important conversation of children in the industry that are in environments and situations that they shouldn't be and that are unhealthy. And then look at how some of them grew up. Look at poor Amanda Bynes. Now my heart breaks for her. She was one of my favorites. My heart breaks for her. Britney Spears, just go on her Instagram. You know, Drake Bell went through his fair share of things, and now it all makes sense as to why, and it's just very sad. So I think it starts an important conversation of should kids be in the industry? Like, should this be a thing that's happening? So very sad, but very worth the watch. I think from a technical and editorial point of view, the documentary was very well done. I think the interviewers asked really good questions, and I wish it was longer. I would have continued to watch. Like, I don't want to say I enjoyed it because that feels wrong to say, but I'm glad I watched it, and it was very eye-opening. So I'm sure most of you have seen it. If you haven't, I would recommend it. The next two are movies, and they are movies that went very, 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 not viral, but were spoken about very heavily in the media, that everyone's like, oh my god, these movies are so great. I will provide my opinion. So the first one is Anyone But You. I believe it's Sydney Sweeney and is his name Glenn Powell? I'm just pulling that out of thin air. I think that's his name. But it's a rom-com sort of deal. It's one of those like fake relationship sort of tropes where then in the end they fall for each other. It's not a spoiler. You can literally watch the trailer and you would put two and two together. And they went, I keep saying viral because on TikTok, like, I just kept seeing it pop up, that everyone was like, oh, they're really in love, like in real life, like you can tell. Meanwhile, she's engaged and he's, I don't know, I think he has a girlfriend. But like, they were really like banking on the amount of chemistry that they had with each other to like sell the rom-com, and even me, like, I would see all this publicity and I was like, alright, I kind of want to watch it now. It was cute, but one of my pet peeves is like when actors in a movie have to were many different times where I found myself rolling my eyes. Like, I think things were dragged a little bit too much to be funny. It was like stupid funny, but not in like a ha funny, and like a, oh geez, okay, like move on with it. I didn't hate it. And this is a big thing for me, I would watch it again. Like, I watched it by myself. If friends came over and wanted to watch it, I would watch it again. So I didn't hate it at all. I think, like, I see what everybody was talking about. They do have amazing chemistry. He is, like, beautiful doesn't even do him justice. Like, that is, he looks like a Ken doll. She's beautiful too. So it was good. I don't think it deserved the amount of hype that it got, but it was good. It was good. I was mad because I ordered it. I like rented it on Amazon Prime for like $2 or $3, which is fine. It's $2-3. But then literally the next day, or like 2 days later, I went on Netflix, and it was the first movie I saw already on Netflix streaming, and I was like, cool. I bought that for no reason. So that was annoying, because I feel like I would have liked it more if I didn't have to pay for it. But it was cute. It was cute. I would recommend it. I would recommend watching it. It's a lighthearted sort of thing, but it's one of those movies where you just know how it's gonna end, you know. But it's cute. All right. The next one is Anne Hathaway's new movie, The Idea of You. This is also I guess it's a rom-com, but less of the comedy, more of the romantic, I guess. I don't know what you would classify it as. Essentially, it's a story of a single mother, divorced. Her husband cheated on her. She has a daughter who's a teenager, and she takes her to Coachella and accidentally meets one of the band members of her daughter's favorite band, or whatever, that's playing at Coachella. And it was one of those, like, instant, like, love at first sight thing for both of them. But he's much younger. I think she was 40 and he was 24. So it's one of those stories. Now, this movie was really hyped up, okay? I kept seeing interviews of people, like older women interviewing Anne Hathaway and being like, this movie is for us, like, you know, it's for us older women, and I totally get that, and I respect that, because it's true. Like, I feel like women, if they've been divorced or they're single parent for whatever reason, like, I could see that it would almost feel like romance is, like, done for them, which is not true at all, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, I feel like. So I can totally see that. I will say this movie was overhyped, and there were a few parts that made me roll my eyes and be like, really? Maybe I'm just getting older and certain things are just dumb to me. But I was like, that didn't need to happen. That didn't need to happen, but okay. So yeah, there were a couple parts that made me roll my eyes. I will say, I didn't hate the way that they ended it at all. I actually liked it. So a lot of it, or some of it, annoying. I will say though, I think it does start a really good conversation of the double standards in dating, as far as, like, if a man was 40 dating a 24-year-old, less people would have something to say about it. But in the movie, her character was being ripped apart by people because it's like, oh, look at her dating a younger man, like, she can't get a man her age, like, she's such a cradle robber, this, that, and the other thing. And that is a real thing that happens to women. Even if it's, like, in the movie it was like a 15-year difference, but, like, in real life, even if it's like a 5-year difference, people have something to say. Whereas if it's the man that's older, nobody cares. I experienced that, and I dated 3 years younger, and people always made fun of me, not like for real, but my friends always had something to say, like, cougar. They used to call me a cougar. If sat here for an hour and a half and just looked at my TV and could not believe how beautiful Anne Hathaway is. I truly think she is one of the most beautiful women I have ever seen. She is beautiful. She is aging like fine wine. She's so graceful and like classy, but also has fun. Like, I don't know. I am an Anne Hathaway fan. I always have been. Princess Diaries forever, but this movie really just solidified that I really do like her. So, okay, the next one is a show that I never planned on watching. I still can't believe I watched the whole thing. It's called Anne with an E, and it's based off of, I'm pretty sure, the book Anne of Green Gables, which I never watched. Which I never read. But I kind of knew the story. And one day I was looking for something lighthearted to watch. I didn't want like a lot of romance. I didn't want action. I didn't want I just wanted something like super light to watch. And so I put on Anne of Green Gables, it's called Anne with an E, the show. It's on Netflix, 3 seasons. And I watched the whole thing, and I really enjoyed it. It's like, it takes place way back in the day, like horse and carriage days. They live in a town with no electricity, not my typical thing that I like to watch. I would normally find that kind of boring. I adored it. I loved it. Okay, so if you don't know what it's about, an orphan girl essentially is adopted, and it's kind of weird because she's adopted by a brother and sister, but it's not weird, like, they're not her parents. I think technically she was adopted by the brother, so that was like her dad, but they essentially just kind of acted like her parents, but they were brother and sister that lived together and ran like a farm and owned a farm. And she looks different than everybody else around her. She has red hair, freckles, pigtails. She's presented as not pretty, not a pretty young girl. I think she's pretty, but her character, was raised to believe that she wasn't pretty. And she's just navigating school and navigating having a family again. And she's very strong-willed. She's very outspoken. She speaks her mind. She speaks up for like social causes that she's passionate about. All these things which was frowned upon, especially by young women back in the day. So she just kind of goes in trailblazing and tries to make a difference in her surroundings. And she's like a blabbermouth, like she's supposed to just like never know when to shut up and like all the things. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was a little annoying, but I think that's the way her character was supposed to be portrayed. And then in the end, I think in the last season, she's 16 at that point, and she likes a boy, and he likes her back, and she has her first kiss, and blah, 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 blah. So it was cute. It was like a nice little lighthearted, mind-numbing sort of show, but towards the end, it actually was like a comfort show. Like, I enjoyed it. So that definitely isn't everybody's thing. It's not really my thing, but I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it. So, and the last show, I know so many people that have watched this over the years. It is not a new show. I'm sure many of you have watched it, but I started watching Once Upon a Time. I started watching it on my break with my coworker at work, and it's essentially about storybook characters, Disney characters, Snow White, Cinderella, like Rumpelstiltskin, the Prince Charmings, all the things, but in the real world, and how they're coming like to Earth as we know it now, and they don't really know each other, but they're all kind of connected. And I just started watching it. There are, I don't know how many seasons, I know there are a couple. We literally just started it. I am on season 1, like episode 5, and I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so captivating, and it's all the stories that I grew up on like, wow, this one's in it, this one too, and he's in it too. So yeah, I have really, really been enjoying it, and it's always fun to like watch it with somebody else. So yeah, that's Once Upon a Time, and I've really been enjoying it. I'm sure some of you have watched it, like I said, so let me know. No spoilers, of course, but let me know what you thought, and if you think I'm gonna continue to like it as I watch. And I'm watching that on Hulu. I didn't say, I guess I'll run down the list and tell you what everything is on. Suits is Netflix. Quiet on Set, I said HBO Max. Anyone But You, Netflix. The Idea of You was Amazon Prime. And with an E, Netflix, and Once Upon a Time, Hulu. So that's just some of the things that I have been watching. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you've seen any of these things and if you liked them or didn't like them. And as always, fill the comments with recommendations for me and for others watching if you've watched anything good lately. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my